Working on my 2009 Chevy Cobalt, and today I'm going to be doing a leather steering wheel upgrade. And the first thing you want to do is anytime you're working on the airbag system, disconnect the battery for at least a half an hour, and read all safety precautions in the service manual. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the airbag, and I like using an Allen wrench. And this battery's been disconnected for a couple days, so there's a little hole right there, and you push the Allen wrench in straight, and you can feel a little resistance, and that's the little spring. You push it down, you push it in, and that'll allow the airbag right here just to come out slightly. And then you do the exact same thing on the other side. You really have to make sure you go in straight, otherwise you can miss that little spring tool or spring mechanism. And I'll show you what that looks like when I get the airbag out. Then you want to remove, there's a little safety, then you want to remove these safety tabs. You just pull them out slightly. You don't have to disconnect them all the way, you just pull them out slightly. And that allows you to push in on the tabs and remove grab a pair of pliers. So most of the times you can do this with your fingers, but if you have a pair of needle nose, and they just lift right out. Don't force them to do anything because you don't want to damage your airbag. And next thing we want to do is the airbag wires are connected permanently to your clock spring, but you do have to remove the wiring for all your controls. All right, you pull up on this little tab, and then you just pull out. And you see the little part that the little tab hooks to. You just put your pick in there and just pull up a little bit, and it comes right out. All right, so the steering wheel bolt takes a 13/16, which just happens to be the same exact size as a spark plug socket. All right, so an easy way to get these off, I have a steering wheel puller, but an easy way to get this off without using a steering wheel puller is you hit at the same time both ends, both the right and left side, and then both the top and the bottom. You do that a couple times, and usually it just comes right off. All right, comes right off. And be very careful not to move around your clock spring, because if you move it around too much, there's a ribbon wire in there. If you move it around too much, you actually can break it when you're making left or right hand turns. So you always want to make sure that stays straight. And then thread through your airbag wires. I said make sure it's perfectly straight because you don't want to have to take it off again. At this point I like to plug in the controls, and then you're going to torque this down to factory spec. Then you re-hook up your airbag. Your pink goes in the pink, and your white goes in the white. So definitely refer to your service manual. Because it'll tell you, like I said, there's a million safety precautions, and you're dealing with airbags, so you want to follow all of them. And then when you're putting the airbag back in, you want to make sure that you don't pinch the wires. And I was going to show you how when you put this in the side, what it looks like from inside the steering wheel. So when you push it in, let's see, you actually push that little metal rod on each side, and the metal rod connects to that, and that's what stops the airbag from coming out. Let's see, you definitely want to make sure you don't pinch the wires. And make sure it clicks down. Then reconnect your battery. You do have to tighten that down, and then start the car and look for airbag lights. It's normal for it to flash. You just want to make sure it goes out, and then make sure all your buttons work, which they do. Take it for a quick little test drive.